Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, teachers. Okay,
Morning.
we are from Fantastic for Elcob Internet Volunteer. And then, first, let's say thanks to our God, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, the Lord of the world, the Lord of the universe, who has been giving us His blessing and mercy so that we can get rid in the class without something wrong happen. I mean, okay, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm Unita as the master of ceremony will guide this dissemination. But before starting our agenda, let me explain the agenda schedule of this dissemination. One, the first agenda is opening from Mr. Prof, but he is um, problem, and then he he not to attend in here. And then next, the second agenda is course 1 to course 7. Okay, all this audience, the first agenda we are to let's start agenda by reading basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we will talk about introduction of novel engineering. It will be presented by me, Dewi Suharni from Padang Panjang, West Sumatra. In novel engineering, we will talk about several topics. The first one is what is novel engineering? And the second one, what are the stages or process of novel engineering? The third one, why do you think novel engineering is needed? And what do you think would educational impacts of NA on teachers and students when you adopt it in class? And the last, what can you do to enhance the impacts? First, we will talk about what is novel engineering. Novel engineering is an innovative approach of teaching to integrate engineering and literacy. In novel engineering, students use classroom literature such as stories, novels, expository text, and etc. as a basis for engineering design challenges. And in NA, it is requires the reader to identify problems that the fun in the novel and then design the solution. And the solution that the student develop are then engineered by the students either independently or in collaboration. And then the importance of novel engineering is the first one, it encourages students to interact with literature in a proactive hands-on manner. And the second one shows how your students can work through engineering design challenges inspired by a broad range of literature such as novels and short stories, biographies and histories, or even a picture books. And then it is create students creative thinking, critical thinking, communication, collaboration, literacy, and technology. If we talk about the literacy aspect in novel engineering, here the students need to identify engineering problem faced by the main characters, and then the students should think and become the characters of the book, and the last, they solve the problems using engineering. Sorry, there is some word missing. And in engineering aspect, the students need to form a strategy or a solution to solve the problems. and simulate the situation using the kit or any media. And then do list of processes from planning, building, testing, and reviewing. And the third topic, it is educational impacts of NA on teachers and students when adopting it in class. The first one is learning that occurs is student-centered, so that the students are active in finding and solving problems from the story using technology. The second one, students can have literacy skills through stories in novels, have problem solving, creative and critical skills using technology, communication and collaboration in presenting to their friends the resulting project. And then causing the students to think at the highest level of Bloom's taxonomy, that is analyze the problem and then creating a project. Next, novel engineering also make the application to other stories with a more difficult or complex level so that the students are challenged to try and use high order thinking skills to solve problems in the story. The impacts for the teacher can explore and improve their creativity and in realizing fun and meaningful learning for students. And then the teacher must improve their creative abilities through technology guidance activities, education and training, and webinars on meaningful and fun learning. And the last, trying to collaborate on several subjects such as science, mathematics, language, and art using an A project to create learning science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics or STEM. If we talk about the stages or process of novel engineering, there are some process we can see in this picture. The first one, the students must read the book, or maybe the student can choose the novel that they are interested in. And while they are reading the book, the student identify the problems that they find in the novel. After they met after they identify the problem, they try to design the solution and then make a coding. After make the coding of the solution for the problems, present it to the other friends in the class. And after the students present their coding, the teacher will give the feedback about their presentation. Sorry. And then after they get the feedback from the teacher, they can improve their design. And the last one, after making announcement the structure and receiving feedback, the students write the story under the assumption that the solution was used. Okay, this is the overview of novel engineering. This is in general. The first one, the student reading the books and then finding problem, and they try to solve the problem. Maybe can use robot education, SW education, science, math, or STEAM, AR, VR, MR, and drone, and maker movement, and then rewriting the story. Okay, I think that's all.
Verse 2 about how to use LMS management system. The speaker of Mr. Tony Hidayat. Yours, Mr. Tony.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Yunita, and hello everyone. It's an honor for me to have you all here in our virtual meeting. And on this session, I will explain the learning management system. And before that, please introduce, sorry, my name is Tony. I'm from Bandung. I'm teaching information and communication technology in 6th senior high school. And it's almost a week since we've started this workshop, the AIV. And then I will share my screen right now. Okay. So this is our learning management system. It called School Kojim, and it developed by the Ministry of Education in Korea. And mostly of our workshop or course, the material is presented here. There are several menus here, but sadly, it will only can be accessed by the member of the workshop. So for other teachers, you still can have the access to video or maybe some material from YouTube channel of Codable. Okay, so this is the view of our LMS. This is my course menu, my code evaluation, there are question and answer, and so on. Okay, so basically, the most of the time we're using this LMS is on the my course menu. There are several topics here, several courses. There are 7 courses. From the first one is the introduction of novel engineering, and the last one is the problem solving part 3, retelling the stories. And most of the course is presented by using a video like this. Okay, so even you don't have access to see this video with this LMS, you can still have this video watching on YouTube. Just search the Codable YouTube channel. You can see all the material in Codable YouTube channel from first course till the last course, like this, Codable YouTube channel. Okay. Okay, and other menus such as the evaluation, the question and answers, the members, we are not using this menu yet because all of our activity is ongoing on WhatsApp group. So we're moving to WhatsApp group, and maybe other menus. There are notice menu here. There are several external link to download application. We've got the kit from the ministry, and we have to install these 3 software in order to the kit work properly. Okay, I think this is our introduction to LMS. So for almost 1 week in our workshop, we'll learn everything from this LMS. You can access in school.kojim.study/front. You can see all it here. Okay, maybe from me right now, I think it's enough. So I'll give it back to Miss Yunita. Thanks.
I want to introduce myself. My name is Yunita. I'm from Senior High School 21 Bekasi. And then now I'm member of COP Internet Volunteer 2020. And then look this LMS, Learning Management System, and course 3 about how to use CodeWiz plus Coding School 3 program, how to install, and you can see this video about how to use. Mr. Sonic can play video about how to use CodeWiz and Coding School. Features, you look this. What is CodeWiz? How to use CodeWiz? How to use Coding School 3? This is CodeWiz. And then Mr. Tony, faster, please, about how to install CodeWiz. Okay, teacher, this is CodeWiz. Okay, how to install CodeWiz? You can see download about Mozilla Firefox. You can to connect cable to laptop. Mr. Tony, install CodeWiz, aplikasi CodeWiz
Okay.
di School Tree-nya. Before. Okay. Okay. Install in the Mozilla Firefox about coding School Tree, and then install, extract. And then installation complete. Then this is aplikasi coding School Tree in the Windows. And the next, CodeWiz connect to laptop. Okay, this is coding School Tree. Connect CodeWiz. Yeah, CodeWiz connection, sensor block. Okay, this is coding School Tree, about coding School Tree. And you can use coding on the CodeWiz. Then you can see. Okay, this is about how to use CodeWiz and coding School Tree program.
Thank you so much, Miss Yunita, for the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, here I am. My name is Ernawati Setionugraheni. You can call me Nana, as always. I am a headmaster of Wirotaman State Primary State School. It's located in Kuto Arjo, Jawa Tengah. Feel free if you have time, if you have spare time, just come and join with us. Okay. I got what I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We are using the free of Zoom. Actually, I am already recurring the Zoom meeting, but I don't know it won't work this time. So so we have every 4 minutes it will end. So we will take 5 minutes extra. 5 minutes for you to take a break and ask for take a break too, and then we will come back. Okay, this one I will share. Okay, this one is my material. We were talking about finding problems after reading the books. This one is my identity or my biodata, you can read it there. And then how to find the problems. We have 3 steps here. Step number 1 is pick a book. What kind of book do we have to pick when we want to practice novel engineering in our class? You can find any stories, any novels, or any expository texts that can enhance the skill of literacy skill of your students, but they have the connection with engineering too. After pick a book, you can take to the other step. What is that? Identify problems and design solution. Identify problems and design solution can be done through discussion and attentive reading. Discussion means here after the students group, you grouping the students, you can give them the books, the excellent books to them to read. After that, they got discussion in their team, attentive reading first, and then they identify what kind of problem do the character face in there. After the student have the problem or identify the problem, they can consider the needs of the story character and set the context or constraint there. That's the difference between identify and design solution. After you got the problems, all the problems are welcoming here at the first stage. After that, when children have to, or the pupil have to constrain the problem, so it will narrow down the problem that they have. Okay. And the last step is the preparation for building, or we are using toolkit here. Students work in a team and build a prototype, a functional prototype. Here, in our AIV, ALCOP Internet Volunteer, our task is reading Hansel and Gretel. Read this book, and then identify the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, in this break, we will give you a short break, and then you can go to YouTube and find out what are Hansel and Gretel's problem. Okay, we will give you 5 minutes when we break, and then when we come back, you will have a discussion with us. What are the problem of Hansel and Gretel? Okay, what is when we identify problems, the best way to guide your students is through mind map. Once again, every problems is okay. Let your students think freely. When they have the page for solve problem, after they find the problem, after they identify the problem, you will the student or the pupils will narrow down their idea and narrow down their problems and solve them, become which one is basic problem, which one is intermediate problem, and which one is advanced problem. They will make a toolkit based on that problem. Okay. Problem number 1, right? This one is, we will give you a hint about, what kind of problem do Hansel and Gretel face in the story. There are 3 problems here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after this, we will take a shortcut. We will take a short break, 5 minutes short break, and then you can find Hansel and Gretel story here. I will call this is a bilingual bilingual story. This one is in Indonesian. I will share it to the group here. Can we get the link of Hansel and Gretel story? Sure, sure, Miss Rahmawati Nur Fatihah. Here, I give you in the chat about Hansel and Gretel story, and then read that, observe that story, and then we come back. When we come back, we hope that you can find three problems that Hansel and Gretel face, and then we will discuss how to solve that problem, how to use coding to solve that problem, and that will be delivered by Mr. Tony. Don't worry, teacher. We have Mr. Tony. We have Mr. Tony here. He is a master in coding. We call him Tony Park. Right? He's our Iron Man in our group. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a break right now. Is it okay, Miss Yunita?
Okay, Miss Anawati.
We will leave our meeting now, and then teacher, you come back in this meeting. You come back in this room, the same one. We don't change anything. Just come back here after you watch and you read the Hansel and Gretel. Is it okay, Miss Yunita?
Okay, Miss Anawati.
Okay. The time is yours, Miss Yunita. Just closing this wrap this session.
Okay. No, not ending Zoom note.
No. Just wrap this session, and then we will come back 5 minutes from now.
Okay.
Give them to watch. Give them to read the Hansel and Gretel.
Okay. Teachers, this is time to watch about Gretel and Hansel story. Please, you can see on YouTube about Gretel and Hansel story, and this link chat box you can see, teachers, and we give 5 minutes for watching about Hansel and Gretel story on YouTube.
Or several times. It depends on you. Once upon a time, there lived a poor woodcutter in a village. The woodcutter had two children, Hansel and Gretel. The children had a stepmother who was a very bad person. I leave Hansel and Gretel in the woods. Without the children, my husband and whom are mine? The stepmother woke the children up early in the morning and took them to the wood to cut some wood. Hansel remembered what he'd heard yesterday, so he followed his stepmother by dropping pieces of the bread he had packed for lunch. This way, if the stepmother left Hansel and Gretel, they could still follow the pieces of the bread all the way home. The stepmother said, "Now I'm going to go over there and cut the wood. Then you guys stay here and cut the wood." After saying this, she left the children there and went home alone.
Okay. In here, have you find the problem there? Feel free to chat us, or feel free to have a conversation with us. You can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself, and then share your idea there. Okay. Have you find the problem in our story, Hansel and Gretel?
Miss Vicky, Miss.
Okay, Miss Vicky, feel free to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When I watched your video before I joining the second session here, I found the problem that Hansel and Gretel's father cannot sell the woods because it's raining hard in the village.
Okay, that's right. Hansel and Gretel father cannot sell the woods because it's Raining hard in the village. Yes, that's true. That's true, Miss Vicky. In this page, Miss Vicky, would you like to join us again? In this page,
Okay.
focus on this page. What is the problem here? Once upon a time, there lived a poor woodcutter. The woodcutter had two children, Hansel and Gretel. The children had a stepmother who was a very bad person. I will leave Hansel and Gretel in the woods. Without the children, my husband and home are mine. The
Okay.
stepmother woke the children up early in the morning and took them to the woods to cut some wood. Hansel
That's the
remembered.
problem.
Okay. What do you think of the problem?
So they live in the forest
Yet,
to cut
that's
the
right.
woods. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much, Miss Vicky. That's right.
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel was left in the forest, and then see, remember that Gretel is actually a smart boy. Okay, he when he know that he had bread for the lunch. So when he understand that his mother want them to get lost, so he dropping the piece of the bread he had packed for lunch. Okay, so problem number one is maybe Hansel can found the way or had a hard time finding their homes through the wood. That's for problems number one. So take it a look again for problems, finding problems number two.
The moon was shining between the sky and Jane with the food. Uncle, let's go back to our house, Gretel cried. Uncle started looking for the pieces of bread he had dropped in order to find his way out of the forest. However, the birds and ants had already ate them. The night got even darker, and Hansel and Gretel began finding their way in the moonlight. They could see a house far away. The house was made of candy and cookies. The children were so hungry that they ate the cookie house pile. Who is it? Who's destroying our house? From far away, a screaming and scary looking grandmother. The children were scared. The grandmother who ran to them was actually a witch who ate children. The bad witch locked the brother Hansel in a small room and made Gretel do housework. Ah, the boy is too skinny. I'm gonna have to fatten the boy up a little more and then eat him. Gretel, you should bring your brother delicious from now on. That way I can eat more deliciously when your brother gains weight. Hansel and Gretel were trapped in the witch's house.
Okay, let's get back once more. Okay, although Hansel already dropped the piece of cookies that he had for the lunch, but apparently Hansel cannot find the way to their house. And then the night got even darker, and Hansel and Gretel began finding their way in the moonlight. So the searching is are going on from the day from the light until the moonlight. Okay, that's the problem number one. The problem number two is Hansel and Gretel. They were scared, they were hungry, they're starving, and they saw a house with cookies in there. So when they got very starving, Hansel and Gretel, without thinking, they ate all the bread, all the cookies there. And then suddenly the witch came in. This house actually belonged to the witch. So the witch want to eat Hansel and then make Gretel become his maid, her maid. Okay. Gretel, you should bring your brother delicious fruit from now on. That way I can eat more deliciously when your brother gains weight. She wants to eat Hansel, and then the witch want Gretel to feed Hansel a good and deliciously food, so the brother gains weight.
And eat more deliciously when your brother gains weight. Gretel was wrapped in the wheat and waited to see if Hansel had gained weight. However, Hansel gave the chicken bones to the witch and pretended they were his hands. The witch had very bad eyesight, so she didn't know that Hansel was giving her chicken bones. Why aren't you gaining weight? I can't wait any longer. I will just boil you and then eat you. Gretel, heat the water in the cauldron. Gretel knew the witch was trying to eat her brother. So Gretel came up with a trick. Grandma, the lid of the cauldron won't open. The witch heard that. What a worthless child! Can't you do that? The witch climbed onto the cauldron in order to open the lid. Then Gretel pushed a wreath into the cauldron and closed the lid. The witch died and Gretel freed her brother, who was locked up in a small room along with the table in the witch's house.
Okay, this one for problems number 2. This is the way Gretel killed the witch. Okay, the witch have bad eyesight, so every time she approach Hansel, Hansel give the chicken bones to the witch and pretends they were his hand. So the chicken bones, in which perception is Hansel hands.
Freed her brother,
Okay.
who was locked up in a small room along with the table in the witch's house. They returned home. Dad, we're back! Hansel and Gretel shouted when they saw their house. The father ran to the children, crying when he heard their voice. After abandoning the kids in the wood, he had kicked the stepmother out and began looking for his kids. The father felt very bad for what happened to his children. My kids, it was my fault. Could you forgive me? Dad sincerely apologized to the children, and they all cried while hugging each other tightly. After that, the family lived happily ever after.
Okay, right. Okay, children, can you find the three problems there? Let me summarize. The first one is Hansel and Gretel had a hard time finding their way home from the wood. And then the second one is Hansel have the problem how to escape himself from the witch that she want to catch him and eat him. The second one is when they approach the house of witch, the witch come and want to catch them. So maybe Hansel and Gretel can set a trap so that the witch cannot catch them. That the three problem in Hansel and Gretel story. That's all, Miss Yunita. Thank you so much. The time is yours.
The problem solving one, yeah, how to make flashlight from Kudwis. And I want to please, Miss Anati, can you help me about videos how to make coding flashlight for problem solving one from Hansel and Gretel story.
Wait, give me time. I will share the LMS for you, Miss Yunita. 5, right? Create a flashlight.
Yes, Miss Anawati.
Okay.
Modules for digital literacy.
You can stop me anywhere you want. Can
Okay.
you see that?
Okay, Miss
Development. Lesson 5. Create a flashlight.
Anawati.
Yep.
From this video clip, you will learn how to do coding and how to make a flashlight. Let's take a look at the order we are going to study today.
Sorry, Miss Erna, we can't see the video. It
You
only
can
shown the Explorer.
Okay. Wait. What happened with this? Film and TV, right? So, is it okay now?
Chapter 1.
Okay.
How to do.
Okay.
Okay, teachers, how to coding flashlight? You can see this.
First of all, do you remember the story of Hansel and Gretel which you read last time? Hansel and Gretel had a hard time finding their way through the woods on a dark night. So today we're going
Okay, please double click coding school 3 and you can connect and you can choose English language. Okay, and then the next you can click connect and connect Codevis. Then you can choose block category Codevis. You can choose Codevis program, drag it, and you can choose again a init neopixel. And then set neopixel brightness 60. You can drag it. Okay, then you can choose control block, choose forever and drag it. Also, you can choose block if blah 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 then else and drag it, and then you can choose again Codevis block, read, switch left button, and then set next pixel 1, and you can bring 5 setboard. One is red color, and this duplicate set no pixel 5, and then you choose 2, the is color green color, and then 3 pink color, and 4 yellow color, and then 5 blue color. And you can change feel free about color, and then after that you can drag with 10 seconds, and then finally you can choose about clear neopixel all and drag it. That's finished, complete, coding complete. Okay, and then you can click Codevis program, and you can to click button left, and then you can change the time when the flashlight is on, the color of the light, and then you can to click edit, then audio mode off. Then you can see right. You can see screen right side. This is, you can click upload and please waiting. Then see, this is flashlight. And how to make a flashlight. This is a switch strap, Lego parts, code wheels, battery case, back case of watch, front case. This you can see. Okay, this flashlight from code wheels.
Teachers, don't worry when you maybe you cannot demonstrate, we cannot demonstrate well because we are run out of the toolkit. We only have each of us only have one toolkit, and this is online or online dissemination, so you cannot manipulate the toolkit, you cannot touch the code whiz. That's a huge regret from us, so we will only share you guys about how to make code whiz and how to coding and make and solve the solution. But Mr. Tony will share us all about the coding. So I will only share about the moving hands in a speedy way. Right.
Hello, welcome to Modules for Digital Literacy Development. This is the sixth class of the course. We are going to
Share.
use moving hands.
Yeah. Another
We
game.
can see the video again.
Yeah.
Quickly check what kind of content today we have. This is the sixth class.
That's all that.
We are going to develop a self-moving hand. We have four.
I will share
That's for
again.
today. First, let's find the problems.
Okay.
Solve the problems which is related to the first one.
Okay, this one is let's find the problem, let's solve the problem, make the code, and let's make it. The code is will become to Mr. Tony. How did Gretel kill the witch? She pushed the witch into the cauldron. Something like that. Let's solve the problem. So we have that device that a huge regret from us that you cannot see and you cannot touch our toolkit and code whiz. But you can buy them. One code whiz is about $7,000 maybe, or I don't know. See this one.
Things come close to her.
See when witch come, when which approach Hansel or Gretel here, Hansel will pop out his chicken bones, and the witch will thinking that, oh, that's his hand, that's a
The
small
hand
hand.
is moving and not moving, and things come close to her and it's moving. Like the chicken bones, right? And then when she is not coming.
So actually, teacher, this one is the main idea of how to combine between literacy and engineering. Literacy there, wait, I will have to admit some of participants there. The literacy comes when your pupil, your children read the books, and the engineering comes when your students taking the engineering design process here, to make some kit to solve the character's problem. That's the main idea of novel engineering. It's not about the coding. It's not about the toolkit. You can what you can find other story, other novel, you can find other explanatory text, and then just find the just find the right book, just find the right novel for your children, for your students, for your pupil, and then you can think about the engineering to solve the problem. You create the engineering there. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be complicated like this. It doesn't have to be to take the coding in your at your school, or at your class, but you have to combine between novel and engineering. This one we will share you again about the engineering here.
More like automatic device.
After this,
Today,
we will have Mr. Tony, and Mr. Tony will explain to us all about the coding in problem solving 1 flashlight, problem solving 2 moving hand, and problem solving 3 the marbles drop it at interval times. We will share you the video, and then when we come back after 5 minutes, Mr. Tony will help us understand the coding. What can we make from the flashlight? Maybe Mr. Tony will talk about a touchless flashlight, or maybe he will talk about the flashlight that automatically on in the dark. This one we will share you.
And this one will be always
here.
the first one. So click it.
First one is always code with program. After that, you can read. This one is our
and drag it.
Media. Drag the code with program.
Then after that, maybe you can remember what kind of tools do we need.
Don't forget we have to
we need
add the servo here.
So servo motor, press the button. Those kind of blocks which are related to servo motor will be
because the bone chicken is pop out and pop in, pop out and pop in, something like that. So we need servo motor here.
So click it and
drag servo motor here.
Then we have to
in our work area.
We show the chicken bones, like a very bone-shaped hand. So we have to change the angle, right? But before that, we have to set the very original angle, which should be this one should be 0. But actually, you can change
0 when the bones are
so this time I will set it
top
as
out.
0.
So it's 0, right? 0 or 180.
We already installed the code with program.
This one is for the angle.
So set servo motor. After that, we will set a certain original angle.
Set angle to the servo motor.
We have to show it. When which doesn't come, you would not move the hand. So we need a very different types of block. Then let's see. If you cannot see any very specific idea, maybe you can click everything. We will see what kind of things we are going to need. So maybe let's see. Not now. Looks, switch, blah blah blah. No. The sound. don't need any sounds, right? Events.
Events, no
Nothing
idea.
that related about control. Let's see. Wait. Repeat. Like, yeah, forever. If. What about
Okay.
what else? Really? Maybe something is closer than certain distance, or further than certain distance. So these three remain. And next one, variables were my blocks.
You can manipulate all here.
So things like this.
This is our work area.
Code base will be somewhere.
Okay.
This one, see that? Then take it together.
This is a distance.
First one, code base programming.
So when the witch come over, the witch come closer, the chicken bone will pop out. This is the distance here. Okay, angle-nya 90 degrees.
Distance is pretty
Something
much
like that,
close.
90 degrees, right?
Then servo motor will be moving.
Servo motor for the motor here. So this one, something like that. This is the code switch one here. Plug and play, assembly. Attach the bottom at the rounded area. This is the battery here. This is the servo motor arm. And then this is the chicken bone that will be pretend become Hansel hand. This one is the most important one here. Brown to black, red to red, orange to white. Look at there. There's the Hansel, Gretel. See? The double tip there. Put back to Gretel so it will attach to Gretel hand. This is manually. Pop out, pop in. Pop out, pop in. Move the servo motor cable to the empty to make it look neatly there. Attach the top frame, something like this. See? Here we are.
The fun part of our meetings, we will learn how to code the program using CodeWiz. Are we waiting for another participants or we'll continue just now? I will start my screen, okay? Sorry, Miss Erna, cannot share my screen because it disabled.
Okay. Okay, you can start your screen now. You can share your screen.
Okay. Okay, can you see the pictures?
Yes, Mr. Tony, I can see pictures.
Okay. Okay, everyone. So on this session, I will start to show you how to code using CodeWiz. And before I'm going to that material, you can see on the pictures, this is called the CodeWiz board. The blue board, and it equipped with several sensors. There are light sensors, there are mic sensors, there are 3-axis sensors or gyro sensor. They equip it with 2 buttons, left and right, and 5 lamps. 5 lamps. So basically, the function of the coding is to manipulate every sensors in CodeWiz. And we are going to do that on this program, Coding School 3. As you can see here, the programming doesn't hard at all, because in Korea, this program is used by the elementary school, the age between 8 to 10. So it doesn't have to type any words or something. It only have to do is to drag and drop the block from the left side to the middle side, just like this. Okay, from the first project, as explained by Miss Yunita, I will show you our results, our flashlight that I've been created. It's the flashlight we've been created from the last previous days, and it triggered when the left button is switched, and the lamp will be turned on for 10 seconds, and then will turn off automatically, just like that. We will start how to code like this in coding school. Okay, it doesn't hurt at all, so please bear with me. If you have any question, just note it, and after this we will have a discussion session. You can ask everything about the code. Okay, so we will start from the left side. There are a CodeWiz button here, like Miss Erna said, that we have to start with CodeWiz program blocks. All we have to do is just drag and drop the block from the side part to the middle sides. Okay, and then from the first project, we will create a flashlight. So we have to initiate that we will use the lamp on CodeWiz. How to do this? Let's search for init NeoPixel. In this part, the lamp on CodeWiz is called the NeoPixel. There are 5 lamps, and if we want to use the lamp, we have to declare first by dragging this init NeoPixel. After we drag this, then the CodeWiz know that, Tony will use the lamp on these projects. Gyro sensor or next distance sensor, and so on. If we want to use the motor, we have to declare the motor sensor in the first part of the program. And then after this, the coding goes to cause and event statement. Okay, for example, the logic of the programming is there are several conditions that have to be met, and then for each of the condition there are an action that will be executed according to the condition. For example, for traffic light, if the traffic light shows the red lamp, we'll have to stop. And if the green lamp show, we have to continue, else we have to be careful, just like that. So the logic behind the programming is there are several conditions that have to be met, and there are several actions that will be paired with the condition. So in this first project, we will create a flashlight. We have to add a block forever. This block is the function of this block is to guarantee that the program will stand by and read any trigger that given by the users. So the next one, we drag the block if, then, else, like this. If the condition something, then we'll do the action according to that condition. Okay, so in this flashlight, we want, if we push the left button, the code whiz will turn on the lamps. So we have to search from here the code whiz. This is the block, read switch left button. We drag this and then we put this into the container. If read switch left button, then what? We will turn on the lamp. Okay, for this coding, I will just use the simple one. I will use this block, set neopixel all color, so a lamp will be show the red lamp. Set neopixel all color to red, and then I'll give it to wait for 10 seconds. Okay, else action will be triggered if the condition that we declare on the first part is not active. So else we have to turn off the lamp. We're looking for this, clear neopixel all. Now, the first project is done. So basically, the programming is just like that. It's not hard at all. We only just doing a drag and drop with not typing any words or any letter like the common programming. It's only just drag and drop. Okay, and like Miss Erna said that the main idea of the novel engineering is not on the code base, but is on the engineering. So if you can do a search for alternative solution if you don't have any code base, and unfortunately the code base is not available yet in our country. So maybe if you're teaching a basic physica, you can do some electronic circuit using cable, using battery or small bulb to do a flashlight. Or maybe if you're a chemist teachers, you can do an using a solution with maybe in biology you can do subject, so it doesn't have this code with block. It only that. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Tony.
Okay, sorry, I'm disconnected before. Okay, for the next explanation, I will explain the second and the third one just like this. I will show you sorry. Oh, okay. And we only have we only can do improvisation to enhance or to use several sensors. This is the example. I'm changing the trigger from pushing the left button into a distance measures. So if the sensors, the distance sensors is blocked by obstacle, by something on certain distance, it will trigger the action. It will turn on the lamp. But if there are no obstacle in certain distance, it will turn off. Just like that. Okay. the code is, if you want to modify the sensors, the only thing that we have to do is change. Okay, I'll take the read distance sensors here. Okay, and I get this block. I'll put this into the container. Sorry, I change this to this, and I'll change that. The first one is to read switch left button. I'll change it to read distance sensors. Oops, just like that. And I change the amount, the value to maybe 200s. And done. So we're now using the distance sensors and we're not using the left button. Just like that. We'll change the block and the code wiz will change the functions. Once again. Okay. And it is the last modification I've made. So I changed the condition, the sensors from the distance sensors. I changed it to light sensors. So the code wiz will read the amount of the light, and when the lights become darker, when the code wiz taken into dim room, it will trigger the actions. Just like that. Okay, so the engineering part of this novel engineering is just do some modification according to problem that have been made by the main character, just like that. And for the last projects, the problem Hansel from the beginning know that his stepmom will take them into the forest and will leave them there. So from the beginning, Hansel threw away some of his food in the way. He hoped that he can trace back to their home, using the food that he threw away. But it eaten by the animal. So the problem is, the solution is, maybe we have to choose another things beside foods that will last any longer. And for these projects, I will use marbles. So Hansel will drop marbles on their way to the forest, so it will not be eaten by the animals. And the second condition is when the stepmother distance is close enough, Hansel will not drop the marbles because he will get caught. And when the stepmother is far enough, and Hansel will start dropping his marbles. So we'll simulate this condition into a code wiz. We will do an engineering approach to simulate these conditions. This is the video. Okay. This is the code wiz. You can see the how to assemble it. There are videos from beginning to the last part of assembly it on tutorial on YouTube, and it's have the same mechanic like a second project that has been explained by Miss Erna. We are using a motors here. Just like that. So if the distance sensor is over here, and they track if there are any obstacles on certain distance, it will stop dropping the marbles. And when there are no obstacles, it will start drop the marbles. So if the obstacle is close enough with the sensors, it will stop. But when there are far enough, it will start to drop the marble again. Okay. So let's get back to the coding schools. I've already saved these files. Okay. This is the code. So basically it has the same program code with the like the previous projects. We have to declare the first block, the CodeWiz program, and we have to initiate that we will use a servo motor for this project. We will not use any LED pixel. We will not use light sensor. We only use the servo motors. So we have to declare this after the CodeWiz program. After that, we have to set the motor to stop. So in first time it will stop, and then we add the forever blocks so that we'll stand by and waiting for the trigger to do the actions, and we give it the if and if else statement. The first if is we instruct the CodeWiz to read the distance sensor if the obstacle is lower than 200, stop the motor. So if the obstacle is close enough, is very close to the CodeWiz, it has to stop. When the step mom is too close to Hansel have to stop dropping the marble because he will get caught. And the second part, when the distance sensor is more than 200, start the motor to do a fast rotary mechanic and dropping the marble. So it's very simple. It doesn't hurt at all, and it given to elementary school in Korea, the age between 8 to 10. This is in introductory to a programming language, and you can use alternative approach to do this. Maybe you can do with any kind of kit that available in your schools, and you can do several approach adopting to your subject. There are several possibility. So I think and we can do something like this. Maybe let's try do a sensor in it. Sorry, a lamp sensor. I'll searching for. We have to initiate that we will use the lamp for these projects like this, init neopixels. And then when the sensors is lower than 200, okay, we turn on the light and we set the intensity of the brightness to 60. Okay, and sorry, it on this part and this on this part. Okay, so let's read the code again. Okay, we start make a CodeWiz program. We will use the lamp, the neopixel, and we set it to brightness 60, and we will use the servo motor, and from starting point we make the motor to stop. the first condition is if any obstacle is detected lower than 200 distance, it will stop and will we will turn on the lamp to the red. And when the obstacle is more than 200, it will stop. Okay, so let's connect the code with. Oh, sorry. Okay. But the results of this code will be something like this. Okay. So if any obstacle is close enough, it will not only stop the marble, but also it will turn on the light to red. When the obstacle is moving backward, it will start dropping the marble and will turn off the light. Okay, I think that's all for now. The basic fundamental on programming using coding school 3. So we have no typing any words or any coding. We only have to do is just drag and drop the blocks that we'll see on the left to the middle side according the condition and the action that we will create. Okay, maybe that's all from me. I'll give it back to Miss Yunita. Thank you so much. Okay, Miss Yunita, time is yours.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. Thank you and apologize profusely if any words that less pleasing to the audience here. Let's ask the dissemination video AIV 2020 by saying Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, dan so sorry about for all about problem techniques or etc. or another, and then thank you so much for teacher attends here, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.